Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today for the City of Lancaster's official public meeting to review our proposed FY2024 Annual Action Plan to the Department of Housing and Urban Development for utilization of our 2024 Community Development Block Grant allocation for information and public comment. My name is Bryn McGowan, and I am a Community Development Administrator within the Department of Planning and Economic Development, and I manage our community development programs funded by CDBG. Hi. So before we begin, I'd like to present a brief refresh of the CDBG program. Our CDBG program, which is administered by HUD, provides annual grants to entitlement states, cities, and counties to develop viable urban communities by providing funding to support the provision of decent, affordable housing, the creation of a suitable living environment, and the expansion of economic opportunities, principally for the benefit of low to moderate income persons. HUD authorizes CDBG to be spent within the following eligible community development activity categories: the affordable housing, preservation, and production category, for public infrastructure improvements, for public services, for economic development, and for planning and administration. So this is the framework through which we plan programs and allocate CDBG dollars to support community development in our city. And this process follows a 5-year goal-focused consolidated planning cycle that provides HUD with a big picture unified strategy of the city's main housing and community development goals and planned projects. And then for each year within the consolidated plan cycle, we must submit our annual action plan for meeting those goals to be approved by HUD for review and approval. So our current consolidated action plan runs from 2021 to 2025, with 2024, the plan we're going to present today, being the 4th plan in that cycle. Okay. So moving into our FY24 CDBG grant allocation, HUD has awarded the city $1,451,253 in CDBG funding this year to support the priorities that we identified within our current consolidated plan. This represents about a 5% or a $73,000 reduction in the money that we expected to receive, assuming level funding with last year's allocation. We're also projecting that we will generate an estimated $25,000 in program income from loans supporting our critical repair and lead hazard control program projects, bringing our total CDBG resources in 2024 to $1,476,253. So given this reduced funding scenario, we're proposing an allocation strategy that prioritizes funding programs and services that supports the city's core strategic plan, our comprehensive plan, and housing plan focus areas, and also ensures that we're able to meet our community development goals despite the reduced funding, and continues to maximize community impact of our CDBG programs while minimizing any adverse budgetary impact to the general fund. So since 2020, we've really seen a successive reduction in the CDBG resources that we have access to. So for example, in 2020, we received $1.7 million. 2024, we're receiving around $1.47. So this is a $230,000 reduction and is overall an indication of the limited resources that the city has access to through the HUD budgetary processes at the federal level. Okay, so this next slide presents a summary of how we're proposing to utilize our funding this year. So in 2020, we conducted an extensive community engagement effort that helped us identify 4 priority goal areas that we would attempt to achieve from 2021 to 2025 with our CDBG funding through designing and implementing our HUD eligible and approved programs and activities. So our current CDBG goals are to maintain quality affordable housing, increase affordable housing opportunities, promote neighborhood quality of life, and expand economic opportunities. In 2024, we're proposing to allocate around $650,000 in CDBG dollars to maintain quality affordable housing, $148,000 to help increase affordable housing opportunities, $423,000 to promote neighborhood quality of life, $20,000 to expand economic opportunities, and $270,000 for planning and administration. At the end. So this funding strategy supports the goals we set out in our current consolidated plan despite a reduction in funding, and reflects overall consistency with our CDBG funding framework that we've laid out over the last 3 years. So the specific CDBG activities supporting these goals are provided at the right of the slide, and greater detail regarding these is available in a handout that I can distribute, and is also available on the city's website. So looking at the pie chart, we can see that more than half of our funding in 2024 will be invested in housing, maintaining affordable quality housing, and in increasing affordable housing opportunities. We're also continuing to support key community partners by providing CDBG for Tenfold's Fair Housing Program, assets, small business development work, and to a nonprofit affordable housing developer through our Affordable Housing Development Solutions activity, which will be available through the county's RFP affordable housing process this summer. So additionally, we're also funding some core city initiatives with the funding that support our residents through housing and infrastructure improvements, as well as some innovative public services. And then finally, our 2024 planning and admin funding will support both the direct and indirect administration of the CDBG program, in addition to providing funding for city planning efforts like the development of the East End Small Area Plan and the Sunnyside Master Plan. So further looking at the allocation, another way we can look at this is through the different CDBG eligible activities. So this breaks it down at that level within each eligible activity area that's approved within our current 5-year plan. More detail regarding this is available in the actual annual action plan, which is available on our city website, as well as a hard copy at City Hall. So we're proposing to allocate around $763,000 to affordable housing preservation and development programs, and this includes our critical repair program, the administration of our critical repair and lead hazard control programs, our proactive code enforcement efforts in low and moderate income areas, and the affordable housing development solutions activity. We're also going to invest around $190,000 in public infrastructure improvements by subsidizing street improvement projects implemented by the city's Department of Public Works in targeted low and moderate income neighborhoods. And we're also planning to allocate $233,000 to support public services, such as the health and housing social worker, DUNS program management work, the police social worker program, and the fair housing services program, with $20,000 to support economic development by providing funding to Assets Micro Enterprise Development Program. And then the final $270,000 will support our administration and planning costs for CDBG program administration, the indirect costs of that as well, as referenced earlier, and then planning bureau efforts like the East End Small Area Plan and the Sunnyside Master Plan. So you can access our 2024, the full version of the annual action plan, in hard copy form at City Hall by following the URL on the screen directly, or by navigating it on the city's website by following the directions on the screen, selecting CityGov, the Department of Community Planning and Economic Development, within the Health, Housing, and Community Development Division, the Bureau of Lead Safety and Community Development, within the Documents and Resources tab. So the city will accept public comments on our draft 2024 action plan until July 1st, 2024, and you will now have the opportunity to make any comments on the plan publicly, and you can also submit any comments to me using the contact information on the slide. And then in conclusion, just wanted to provide some brief CDBG portfolio updates. Finally, we are in year 4 of 5 of our current consolidated plan. So with that being said, we're going to be kicking off some renewed community engagement efforts that will help define our priorities and programs for the new consolidated action plan cycle from 2026 to 2030 in 2025. And then with 1 year left in our current plan, we're assessing overall portfolio impact and evaluating how best to maximize our CDBG resources through 2025. Okay, so thank you for listening to our summary of our 2024 annual action plan. As a reminder, it's available on the city's website, and it contains greater detail about our plan's usage of our 2024 CDBG entitlement allocation. So now we will accept public comments and questions. I ask that you state your name and place of residence and limit your comments to 3 minutes. And you can also submit comments if you're tuning in virtually to my email, bryn.mcgowan@cityoflancasterpa.gov until July 1st. Thank you. Okay. Do you want to use that microphone?
Oh, do you want me to come up here?
Sure.
I guess I get to take more than 3 minutes since I'm the only one here. But Darlene Birds, South Ann Street. If we can go back to the second slide. And first you said you had a handout that you can give us. Can I?
I'll go grab that for you.
Okay, good.
Give me 1 second.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I think I'm not going to get those hot dog burners until tomorrow because I want to make sure I have a place to put them. I don't want to go to buy them and have them all squashed up.
I left the one I filled out at home, so I'm refilling it out. How will you unpackage and ready-to-eat foods be distributed and protected from contamination?
What's your name?
How will your unpackaged and ready-to-eat foods be distributed and protected from contamination?
We don't have no ready-to-packaged food.
How will your condiments be dispensed? We're not sure.
The condiments already.
No.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry, I thought I had some down here from earlier this week.
Oh, okay. Oh, they had a meeting earlier?
Yeah, we had the council committee on Monday.
Oh, okay, and this was presented then. Yeah, okay, so Darlene, so I was a little surprised because I just found out about the meeting yesterday, and I know on last year when they had the public comment meeting, all of the nonprofits were told about the meeting in case we wanted to attend, and I just found out yesterday, that's why I was a little bit late. But next slide is where I had a question.
Sure.
No, keep going. No. Yeah, right here. So we say, what are some examples to promote neighborhood quality of life? We got $423,000. What are examples that we will be doing for that?
Yeah, so for this category, we have a couple of projects that we're supporting. We have the place-based streetscape improvement. So that's the public infrastructure improvements on
Place-based.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. the
Okay.
ninth one down, so that's part of that.
And where is that located?
So those are in LMI neighborhoods all over the city.
What's
There's
LMI?
low, moderate income.
Okay.
And they're doing ADA curb enhancements in those areas.
So do they have a map or something that they can show us what's going to be done versus what was done last year? Because this is for the new money, for the new projects that are coming up. Because I know we have some of that going on now. But I think that's from last year's money. What's happening now, because we didn't get this year's money yet, is that correct?
That's correct. So I can give you a map.
Okay, that would be good. So so that was one. And then, so your maintain quality affordable housing, you're really just thinking about your critical repair. Now, since the city doesn't run the critical repair tenfold, we're saying we're giving them that money.
So right now, the program is actually run by the city.
Okay.
And Tenfold is helping with some of the loans.
Okay.
And then we also got ARPA money for it.
So the grants for the critical repair are still being run by the city.
That's correct.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm just writing this down. And then loan portion, if you need qualify for a loan versus a grant, that is through the tenfold.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. And how much money in total do we have this year? Because you said we got some ARPA money for the critical repair.
Yeah.
So how much money are we looking at?
That's a great question. I know we got $400,000 for ARPA.
Okay.
And then we're going to be able to allocate around $112,000 for CDBG. So we're looking at around $500,000.
About $500,000. Okay. And then my other question for critical repair and lead hazard reduction administration. I'm concerned that we're spending CDBG money for lead hazard because we got lead hazard money that already covers that program and administration. So why are we using some of the CDBG money to cover that?
So the lead grant requires a match from an external source. So
good.
We're leveraging CDBG to meet that match requirement.
Okay, lead needs a match. Good. Okay. And then the proactive housing code enforcement, what are we talking about there?
So those are non-fee-based code enforcement activities, so violation-based activities in certain targeted areas of the city. So we're supporting those efforts that the city conducts there. So we do block walks in areas of the city to educate citizens on the different property requirements to bring their properties up to code proactively. And then we also support some of the violation-based work that the inspectors are doing.
Okay, so the no fee-based, okay. Now you say targeted areas. Do you have a map of the areas that you're targeting? So if I can get that map, that would also be good. Okay. And we say affordable housing development solutions. What are we really talking about?
That's a great question. So this is one of the activities that is open to community organizations doing housing development.
Okay.
So this is for single family scattered site rehab for ultimate housing, homeownership or rental opportunities to low mod income residents.
Okay.
So we will help subsidize the cost of rehabbing those types of properties. And this is, we select subrecipients for this through the county's affordable housing RFP program in conjunction with the home funding as well.
So how much money is going to be allocated knowing that we didn't use the money that was allocated last year? So we have last year's money and this year's money.
Yeah.
So no houses really got help to, maintain decent affordable housing or to address the issues of renovation. So how much money are we talking about that would be available?
So we're going to allocate this year $147,000 to this activity, and we have $160,000 from last year that we can also invest. So that's around $300,000.
Okay. And then I guess my question is, why did the city think that they shouldn't have spent the money last year, like the need wasn't existing? That, that we're carrying money over when we're in this really serious housing crisis about affordable houses and decent houses, that we're not spending money or doing nothing. We're waiting every 2 years when the need is really now.
I think what we were seeing is the cost of construction and rehab was really high, and we had such a minimal amount of funding to provide. We wanted to have a larger investment to ensure better outcomes available, as opposed to not being able to subsidize it at a substantial enough rate to ensure outcomes.
Okay. Yeah, because what I see, and I'm looking at South End Concerned Neighbors speaking now, we had applied last year to get a couple properties renovated. And we were more or less told, wow, we want to have more money because this would help other organizations that are trying. So it kind of like weeded us out because we weren't asking for that much and they had that money. Why not use it? And I understand that. And I dealt with the county on this as well because, we as a city continue to say affordable housing is our number one priority, but we continue to put off work that can be done now, like keeping money just so we can do it next year. That concerns me a lot. Place-based streetscape improvement. So the place-based streetscape improvement, you said that's like the sidewalks, and you're going to give me that map on where that area is. And when we talk about Fair Housing Service Program,
so we are regulatorily required to support fair housing.
Yes.
So we invest $20,000 a year of our CDBG tenfold as the fair housing entity in the City of Lancaster to ensure that we are meeting that requirement and to support their fair housing efforts.
So that's just a requirement to meet, yeah. Okay, so then the housing social worker program. And, because I sit on the home room, we're really talking about the budget. I'm concerned that CDBG would put the social worker who's really through the police in this category.
Okay, yeah,
How's that budget-wise? I'm just curious how that works out.
I'm not really quite sure. I know we subsidize the work of both of these programs.
Okay.
And that they are kind of an innovative public service we're providing directly to residents.
Right.
But I'm really not quite
So you don't think that's covered in the police budget at all then? This social worker?
Those are two separate programs. The police budget is covered a little bit by the police general fund, I think.
No, I'm just talking about the social worker position.
It is in the budget.
Right, so it's in the police budget and it's also in the CDBG budget.
Right, so the way that I think it works is everything's in the ultimate budget and then it gets reimbursed by grants. So we'll reimburse eligible work of that program in a specific area. Okay. And you'll reimburse it. I was just wondering, because I'm like, okay, we're getting ready to look at the budget now. I'm going to go on the CDBG Economic Development and find a position that's being paid through CDBG, like the social worker at the police station. Then when we go look to the police station, we're going to see that social worker position still there, right? Hey, Doug. Yeah, likely. Hi, Douglas. Okay. All right. At one? Okay. Health and social work. Okay. Public Service City Program Management. What is that? So that is our DUN, Department of Neighborhood Engagement Program Manager. Department of Neighborhood. Okay. Yeah, so we'll support some of the work that they do with residents to increase civic engagement, like the Love Your Block program. Okay, that's good. Academy. Love Your Block. That answers a lot. Okay, good. And then, like you say there, we have the police social worker again, so okay. And then your economic development, that's just the $20,000 that you're going to give the assets. So do we look to see that is, effective? Yes, it is.
Are we checking to see, I mean, that we continue to only offer one organization money to do that? Do we feel that it's, and I don't know because I haven't looked into it, but I would ask that question because we said for the next 5 years from 2021 to 2025, we're giving assets $20,000. Are we seeing the return?
Yes, we are.
Oh, good,
yeah,
good,
they have
good.
really great outcomes. They always exceed their established metrics.
Okay. And because they are countywide, do we look at their numbers based on the city?
We do.
Oh, that's good. That is really good.
Yeah.
That is really good. And then city planning.
So, like I said, Douglas just walked in.
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, so we'll help them we have helped them with the cost of the comp plan previously. But
Right.
we're also going to be helping them with some of their small area planning that's coming up.
Such as?
The East End Small Area Plan and Sunnyside Master Plan.
And I just wonder because for those type of things, you know, and I guess I've been involved with the CDBG program since '92 when King used to be over it. It was more for nonprofit organizations to help their neighborhoods, and we don't see the city addressing that or addressing, you know, where we're helping the nonprofit organizations improve their own neighborhood. And I think, at least for the last 2 years, I have brought that up as a concern.
Yeah.
And I think 1 year I was told, wow, it's not in our consolidated plan, but it really is. Because we say critical repair, that could be through nonprofit, that could be, you know, there should be ways to help what nonprofits are doing because that's what CDBG money is really for. You know, and they're doing what, I guess this is their 50th year anniversary, so they're in their 50th year, and I could actually say I've been around at least 25 of those years, and I know when the money went to the organizations it helped, and I know when it went away. And I do have an understanding because of budgeting, you know what I mean, like why it went away. But I'm not saying that still makes it right that that's what we use this money for, you know, that. And then we know we got to administrate them. What are indirect costs to program administration?
So that's like all of the indirect costs of hosting the program here at City Hall. So like fringe benefits, the cost of IT, like electricity, there's like a little bit that needs to come to support that from the grant itself.
Because I see that as a budget issue. We're paying for the technology for the whole city, you know, for all the departments.
Actually,
so
not for the whole city, it's for me as the person
Oh,
doing the administration.
okay.
So it's
Never
not,
mind.
yeah, so it's like
Okay,
cost of
yeah.
administering the program.
Okay, when you said indirect costs, I'm like, okay, so they actually break it down like you use this room, this electricity, and this technology,
right.
So here's your cost factor.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay,
It's
that's...
the estimated cost factor of the administration of the
Okay,
program.
that's good to know, because when we do the budget, we need to see that breakdown, that they're breaking that down and how that's charged in departments.
Yeah.
So
And
that
break
is
it
it.
down, and we don't give them enough money for
Okay,
that, for what
okay.
they calculated.
Okay,
So,
okay. Yeah, so we can go on. I think I might,
okay,
they were the ones that was on there. Let me see. Okay, I'm okay there.
yeah, and then it's just where you can access the plan and everything.
Okay, yeah, so we can write into you
Yeah.
our comments.
Yeah,
And the main thing is, which I kind of like understand yesterday, the comprehensive plan is maintain quality, affordable. These here are 5 things.
yeah,
So
these
it's,
are all the goals that we
these are the goals that you establish in the plan. So
Yeah.
any of this would have to make sure it's meeting this.
Exactly, so
Okay.
all of these go into the different goal
Mhm.
areas to support them.
Right.
And then
Okay.
further those goals that we've
Right.
established.
And then my other question would be, what, I don't want to say pool, but what rank does the city have when it comes to the county? What say do you have in, because we're letting the county do the RFPs, what role does the city play in that?
I would say we're supportive, but we also are autonomous within our own allocation decision-making.
Oh, okay,
But
so.
we do have to follow
So
their
they-
processes.
Okay, so you actually make the decision for the city money, but through the process.
Exactly.
That's good to know. That is good. Okay. Yeah. Because I know a couple times we had to talk to the county, and I'm like, well, why aren't we talking to the city? But it's just a process.
Yeah, and we because of the way it's structured, we follow their same processes from the consortium perspective.
Right.
But we do, ultimately are the decision-making authority on our funding.
And so for number 3, those 3, City Gov, Health, those 3 are just all 3 different places you can go, or?
That's just
That
how to navigate
website.
to find the plan. If
Oh, you got to go there
yeah.
to get to there.
Yeah, you're just navigating the website.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
once you go to the website, you would go City Gov, then go to Health, and then go
Yeah.
Documents and Resources.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Or you can just use the URL code, would take you directly there.
Exactly.
And do you have that? You don't have a QR code for that, or you
I
don't?
I can send you the plan when I send you
Okay,
everything. Does that work?
that would be excellent.
Okay.
That would be very excellent. And like again, I'm just going to express that my concerns is that not enough of the funds, or really none of them, are allocated to any of the nonprofit work because they're already set for like assets, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So they're already set. And I raised this issue last year, and I'll raise it again this year.
Yeah. That's noted. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So that was good.
All right. Any other questions?
No, I'm done.
All right. Thank
Betty,
you.
do you have any
No,
questions?
I was gonna ask you, you did the thing about.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was actually about no, I'm saying, I think you took care of it, where I was talking about the,
Sure.
Slide before.
the next, I think, where there you go, number 1, maintain quality affordable housing for the critical care repair. That's one thing that I was sort of, concerned about, the, critical repair program for, homeowners. Whether or not that still is going to be maintained.
How is it going to be?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think the city is very interested in the continuance of the program, and we've just gotten additional funding to shore it up and provide, improved and a higher level of service. So I can, speak for the program office in that this is a very successful and in high demand program, and we recognize the need for it. So the maintenance of it is something that I think the city will continue to invest in and try and secure additional funding for as needed.
Is there a stipulation for a person, whether or not they will or will not be qualified for the critical program?
Yes, they have to be income qualified based on household size, so they need to be under 80% low mod income based on their household size for the year. But if they don't qualify based on that, the loan program that the program office has negotiated with Tenfold will help support them.
So, like for instance, if a homeowner, just using the top of her head, if they owe the city water bill or anything like that, would that disqualify the person for?
I'm not sure. I don't know the specifics of the program, but I can find that out.
Yeah, because like some person, like maybe they have an outstanding water bill or trash bill or anything like that, would that disqualify them for being approved for this program?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
I think they have something that they can make payment arrangements.
I think they probably
But
may.
on a one basis,
Yeah.
not, I think the city has something that they would work out with the person, like if your roof is leaking and you didn't pay your trash bill, it don't, it's not beneficial not to get the roof fixed.
Right.
It's a trash bill, but I think they worked out something. I think that heard that.
I can confirm for you.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know, like sometimes people, they might have an outstanding bill that they're paying on it, but they still owe the city. So is the city going to hold that against them for being qualified for the critical repair program?
Good question. I will find that the answer for you.
Okay, thank you.